Council members, are you ready? Okay. Good evening and welcome to the Tuesday, May 28th, 2024 Maplewood City Council meeting. Yes, we are meeting on a Tuesday instead of Monday because yesterday, of course, was Memorial Day. I wanted to start off tonight by reflecting on a discussion that we just had concerning emerald ash borer. This now Memorial Day, in addition to remembering all of our service people that have given their lives for our country, it also, I guess, many people kind of take it as this is now the beginning of summer. And so driving around the city, we can certainly see the dead trees as a result of emerald ash borer. And the council during our workshop had a presentation by Mr. Love about emerald ash borer and some of the things that we can do as a city to help residents. The city, of course, is responsible for any tree that is on public property. That's in our parks, on our boulevards, on our city campus, over at the community center, but individual residents are responsible for taking down trees that have ash borer on their own private property. And one of the things that we just had our discussion about was how we can get some relief to residents because taking down trees can be very, very expensive. And the consensus, we had some consensus up here that staff had given us some options on things that we could do as a city, and we landed on doing a city assessment program where the city would make available, and the details are not figured out yet. So you're going to have to pay attention as to how this all spins out. But we gave some staff initial direction on looking into a city assessment program. Now, what that means is people are not going to get free removal of trees, but it's a way of deferring the cost of taking down trees onto property tax. We're going to put an article in the next edition of Maplewood Living. The council will be talking about this program and how we want to set it up. We have to do something, and I think I'm really proud of what Maplewood has done over the last 5, 6, 7 years. We, of course, have our spring tree program where you residents can buy up to, I think it's 4 trees or is it 2 trees? I don't remember right now. 4 trees? You can buy trees, let's leave it at that, at a reduced rate, and they're really good quality trees because we're concerned about the canopy, of course, and we want to make sure that we're replacing trees that are dying out as a result of emerald ash borer. And we've been doing that for at least 5 years. The city staff were able to secure a grant program for $450,000, and that grant is limited to taking down trees on public property. We had a very easy winter, I will say, and so staff was out during the winter months because they weren't certainly plowing a lot this last winter, and instead what they were doing was they were taking down emerald ash borer trees on public property. So what council talked about was coming up with a sustainable program that will assist residents because taking down trees can be very costly. But more details on the program will be kind of working through those. We had some additional questions for staff to look into. We'll be meeting on that in July and August so that the program will be ready to get going early this fall because that's really the time, I guess the preferred time to take down these ash trees is in the fall and the winter months. But it will give our residents some relief from the pretty high costs of taking down trees on their own private property, which is really pretty exciting. And council members, I think it was a good discussion. If anyone wants to hear it or learn more about our discussion, you can watch the replay. It'll be available, I believe, tomorrow on the city website, and it is for our city council workshop. The first topic we discussed was emerald ash borer and what we can do, and the primary focus of the council was to get relief for our residents to help get these trees down. So it's really, I think, something to look forward to, and we're trying to focus on coming up with something that is sustainable. So that's a great way to start the council meeting tonight. We have a pretty good-sized audience. We've got some fun things that we're going to do tonight. But let's start with our Pledge of Allegiance, if you will. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. City Clerk Sint, would you do the roll call for us, please?
Councilmember Lee.
Present.
Councilmember Cave.
Here.
Councilmember Juniman.
Here.
Mayor Abrams.
I'm here as well. Thank you. Council members, is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Cave, seconded by Lee, the motion to approve the agenda. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, then all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion approved. Moving on to the approval of our minutes. First, we have the May 13th City Council Workshop meeting minutes. Is there a motion?
So move.
Second. Moved by Lee, seconded by Juniman. The motion to approve the May 13th, 2024 City Council Workshop meeting minutes. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. Moving on, next is the May 13th, 2024 City Council meeting minutes. Is there a motion?
I move approval.
Second.
Moved by Juniman, seconded by Lee, the motion to approve the May 13th, 2024 City Council meeting minutes. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Moving on to administrative presentations. Mr. Sable has our council calendar update.
Thank you, Mayor and council members. I just want to give you a forecast of what's coming up at the June 10th workshop. We're going to have another open-ended conversation around community engagement, and really what I think is going to be a nice conversation around a summary and a recap of the things that we're actively doing to do engagement, and then gets a little bit of a framework of, or a lens about different models or different mechanisms for what level of engagement we're looking for. Sometimes it's just public input, sometimes it's around shaping decision-making, and I think we'll have a nice conversation around what that looks like. And then we'll also have a presentation from the Rondo Land Trust, which has a development concept for some surplus land that is on the St. Paul Regional Water Services property, and they want to come in and give an update on that. And so that you can look forward to that at the meeting on June 10th. On June 24th, it's not on there, but we're going to expect a brief conversation from the D.R. Horton, which is a housing developer, which is going to come forward with a proposal, a concept for some housing options in the city of Maplewood. Also, we talked a little bit about community engagement. The Maplewood Living is going to be hitting the doorsteps soon, and there's going to be really a great listing of things. I just want to touch on, no pun intended, but the Touch a Truck event as Wednesday, June 12th from 5:30 to 8 p.m. at the YMCA Maplewood Community Center parking lot. It's a great event for kids to kind of see, and for adults too, but get to see some of the equipment and really kind of touch a truck to see what the great services that the city of Maplewood provides to people, that they get to actually touch and experience it, and the staff is really excited. So I'll stop there, though there's plenty of things on the summer calendar. So,
Thank you. Council members, does anyone have any questions or any comments for Mr. Sable? Okay, then moving on. We have no council presentations tonight. The next topic is a resolution of appreciation for retiring Human Resources Manager Terry Rameau. And Mr. Sable, you're going to tee this up, I believe.
thank you, Mayor and council members. I'm actually going to turn it over to Mike Darrow, who's got a couple of things in the works.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. I am really honored to say a couple words for Terry and her work here with the city of Maplewood. I don't know how many people, there's not hardly any, that wake up in the morning and say, I can't wait to talk to HR. Or, boy, that was a fantastic policy. But the institution that is Terry for 34 years when we think of HR, we think of Terry. And that is commitment. I calculated that in her 34 years, and I didn't check with Joe on the math, but if there were 4 people that came to Terry during those 34 years, that's over 34,000 people that had interactions with Terry. And again, my math might be wrong, but it's a lot of people. And the thing that HR is not, it's something that anyone can learn, right? You can go to school and learn HR. You can learn about drafting policies. You can learn about negotiating contracts and discussing pay. You can learn about benefits and all of those things. But when it comes to meeting with people in their best of times and in sometimes their worst of times, that's something that you can't teach. That's something that comes from having a heart, having compassion, having endless care for the people that she served. And so what I know is all of the best things in HR for the city of Maplewood, they're due to Terry. There is no doubt. And so with that, we'll turn it over to Joe with the video.
Terry is an institution at the city of Maplewood.
Terry's always there for everybody.
She encompasses everything that you want in an HR person and a friend.
She's someone that I'm really going to miss.
Never once in over almost a quarter of a century of dealing with Terry has she ever had anything but a gracious answer for me.
She never makes you feel like you're asking a stupid question.
It doesn't matter if you're going to talk about a union issue or a benefit issue, she always has the answers, and if she doesn't, she'll find it.
I've relied on Terry throughout the years, not only as a coworker, but a confidant.
Sometimes when you go to HR, it's not really a positive day. And she always just approached it with, we'll get through this, and she's going to be there to help us through whatever process.
Sometimes HR gets a bad name, bad rap, the tattletailer of the schoolyard. Terry never projected that at all. She was always very calming and very reassuring, and you could tell that she was there for the employee.
She was just so genuine and kind, and I sensed that from the moment I sat down with her, that she was somebody that I knew I could trust if I ever needed anything, someone who would always guide me in the right direction.
Terry takes lunch at 1 o'clock because when I was being interviewed, she left me a message, and so this is 25 years ago. You can call me back to schedule your interview or your typing test at that point. I take lunch at 1. Don't call then because I won't be able to help you right away, which I've now seen is how she always is interacting with people. She's always considerate of their time.
I can't tell you how many times over the last many years that I've come across these little things related to our benefits or online or logging in or whatever, and I'm just so excited to tell her because of who she is, and she's just always so happy to say, oh, I'm so glad this happened to you, so we can fix it, and then I can explain this to everybody else.
We're doing a payroll conversion right before she's retiring, but during this process, she's been able to give us all kinds of information that she has gathered over the last 25, 30 years that she can help us build our new system for the future. Selfishly, I want her to stay, but I'm super happy. She's dedicated a huge part of her life to this community, and I hope that she stays in touch with us and that she enjoys her retirement.
I'm excited for her. She's been here for a long time. It'll be a tough transition, but I think she's left a big impact on the city and on me as well, and HR.
Terry's worked for a lot of unique personalities, some very good, some not so good. Now she can do whatever she wants, and when it's not fun anymore, she can just move on to the next thing.
She's put in a lot of time here and just deserves to have time for herself and her family.
She's worked hard for so many years, taking care of everyone else, and it's time for Terry to take care of herself and enjoy retirement and live life to the fullest.
Terry, we have a resolution for you, and Kathleen, Councilmember Juniman, has specifically requested to read it.
After that, I don't see why we have to let you retire. Who's going to do all that? Whereas Terry Rameau began working for the City of Maplewood as the Secretary for the Finance Department on June 4th, 1990, becoming Executive Secretary in January 1992, and transferring to the Human Resource Department in January of 2005, where she has held multiple positions, culminating in her current role as Human Resource Manager. Whereas through Terry Rameau's leadership, the City of Maplewood's Human Resource Department has grown significantly over the years. And whereas Terry Rameau has provided professional services to our employees throughout her 34 years as an employee of the City of Maplewood. And whereas Terry Rameau has met with hundreds of employees throughout her years of service, assisting them with managing difficult decisions, providing guidance, and addressing issues with compassion and care. And whereas Terry Rameau has been a tireless advocate for our staff and has worked with our 7 labor unions on issues of pay, pay equity, health insurance, and benefits, now we know why she has to retire. And whereas Terry Rameau's work ethic, attention to detail, and collaborative spirit will be greatly missed, and her legacy as our Human Resource Manager will live on for years to come. Now, therefore, it is hereby resolved for and on behalf of the City of Maplewood, Minnesota, and its residents, that Terry Rameau is being extended our gratitude and appreciation for her professionalism and dedicated service over the past 34 years, passed by the Maplewood City Council on May 28, 2024. I move this resolution of appreciation for retiring Human Resources Director Terry Rameau.
Second.
Moved by Juniman, seconded by Cave, the motion to approve the resolution of appreciation for Human Resources Manager Terry Rameau. Is there any further discussion? City Manager Sable.
Thank you, Mayor and Council members. Terry, I am going to miss you. I still remember my first day, and when you walk into a new place and you don't know anybody and you are the face that welcomes you to the organization, it brings people calm and brings them comfort that they made a life-changing choice that wound up being great, and it has been just a joy to work with you. It wouldn't be a conversation in Maplewood without a conversation around strengths, right? Harmony, right? HR is home to unharmonious conversations at times, and you bring harmony to that. A deep well of empathy, and I know that oftentimes people in leadership roles have that at the kind of the bottom of their minds, and you always have it at the top of your minds, and you really do put yourselves in the shoes of the people that you serve, because you do. You have a servant mindset that the people that work in this organization who serve this community do great work, and you help them do that because you know their challenges. Responsibility, I can't tell you the amount of work that Terry does, and does it extraordinarily well. You give her a task, she's always going to do it. The fourth one is positivity, right? And you can see it in your smile, in the way you show up every day. It's just that it's great. And the last one that you have is developer, which is you make the people around you better by being you. So thank you.
And Terry, I want you to know there were more firefighters in the audience. They must have had they must have had a call, but they came here mainly for you.
Council members, we've had a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries.
Oh, that's a tough act to follow. Madam Mayor, council members, thank you very much. Staff who's here, all my coworkers, thank you very much. I'm very overwhelmed and flattered. 34 years, that's over half my life that I've been with Maplewood. When I look back, it's gone by really fast now. There are times when it was, there were bumps in the road, as some of you know, and it was really tough. And I give my husband a lot of credit because even though people would come and vent to me, I had to vent to somebody, so he was at home there ready to listen. So I thank you for that. And just like council, like the residents, they're your thing. The employees are my thing. They're my customers. So I hope that I've, had a positive impact on them. Yes, and as you alluded to, there's been a lot of changes, new hires, births, marriages, divorces, sadly even deaths, and retirements, such as mine. So I'm really excited to start the next chapter in my life. And again, I'm very, very appreciative, and I wish the best of luck to the city council, department heads, and staff. You've been great. You're my peeps. Thank you. One other thing, where did you get all of those pictures?
Oh, sure.
Carrie, we're going to do a picture.
Come on.
Next, we have a resolution awarding the 2023 Maplewood Heritage Award to Ginny Gaynor. Mr. Sharon.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. One of the other hats I wear is liaison to the HPC, the Heritage Preservation Commission. And in that role, each year we award what's called the Heritage Award, the Maplewood Heritage Award, which recognizes someone who's gone above and beyond to preserve Maplewood's culture and history. And this year, we'd like to give it to, actually, to take a step back, at our April 24th meeting, Virginia Gaynor's name was put in as a nomination, and the staff overwhelmingly, or the commission overwhelmingly nominated, approved her getting of this award. Ms. Gaynor, as you know, was also a former employee here, and she served as the HPC liaison from 6 years, from 2013 to 2019. During that time, she oversaw the historic context study, contributed articles to our 60 Stories, which then was later turned into a book to celebrate the anniversary of our 60 years as a city. She held a lead role in preserving the Gladstone Savannah and Restoration Project, and she served as the committee with professionalism, attention to detail, and always a positive demeanor. So with that, I'll ask for approval of the resolution, and if someone wants to read the resolution.
I move the resolution awarding the 2023 Maplewood Heritage Award to Virginia Gaynor.
Second.
It's been moved by Ginneman, seconded by Lee. The motion to approve the resolution awarding the 2023 Maplewood Heritage Award to Virginia Gaynor. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Mr. Sharon, do you want to read that?
Yeah, sure, I'll read the whereases.
You get a plaque.
And the plaque, okay. Here you go. So Maplewood Heritage Award recognizes an individual who has significantly contributed to Maplewood history through research, preservation, and education. It is awarded this year to Virginia Gaynor for her service for the 2023 award. Thank you.
Very nice.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay.
Would you like to say a few words?
Oh, yes. I want to thank the council and the commission. Yeah, everything we did was a team effort. I was a staff person, but I feel like I'm accepting this for the years that we did some really good work with the commission, but also with some members of the Historical Society, with our department, our Parks Department staff, the consultants we worked with. And I always thought, I wasn't sure I was supposed to have fun at work, but we had a lot of fun. We did some really cool projects that really excited all of us. I mean, the fact that we actually did a archaeological dig, a community dig at Fish Creek, and we actually got to go out with an archaeologist and learn how to do that was a really fun time. So I thank everyone, and I accept this on behalf of all the people that were involved in those projects with me. Thank you.
Thank you.
One more note about the Heritage Preservation Commission. Mr. Cardinal brought this to our attention. It was in the paper this weekend that a past member of this commission and someone who contributed to the history was Lois Beam, and she died this past week, and so I think we should take a moment and remember her.
Thank you. Why don't we do a picture with you, Virginia, up here? And if anyone from the Heritage, or yeah, come on up from the HPC.
Especially with all our matching gear, right?
What you want is an apex. You want to. All right, perfect. Thanks.
Great.
Thank you.
He's got myself. That's great.
We have one more resolution of appreciation for HPC Commissioner Barbara Kern. Mr. Sharon, this is your topic tonight.
Thank you very much. Ms. Kern, after several years, is decided no longer to be a member of the commission. We want to take a time and opportunity to thank her for her service. Ms. Kern was one of the first people I actually swore in as a member of that commission. She's served with distinction and honor. She's really given her time and energy for the betterment of Maplewood. She's exceeded her duty, and she's prepared. By being on the Heritage Commission, she worked on grants, she worked on preservation projects, and she also attended the 3-day Preserve Minnesota Conference in 2022, helping the city fulfill one of its statutory requirements to have someone attend that commission. She served this city with great benefit and dedication.
Thank you. There is a resolution of appreciation. Councilmember Lee, would you read that, please?
Yeah, will do. Resolution of appreciation, whereas Barbara Kern has been a member of the Maplewood Heritage Preservation Commission from October 2021 to April 2024, and whereas the Heritage Preservation Commission and the City Council appreciates her experience, insights, and good judgment, and whereas she has freely given her time and energy without compensation for the betterment of Maplewood, and whereas Commissioner Kern's service far exceeded her duty of preparing for and attending Heritage Preservation Commission meeting. She also worked on grants, preservation projects, and attended the 3-day Preserve Minnesota Conference in 2022. Whereas the City of Maplewood has greatly benefited from her dedication and leadership, therefore it is hereby resolved on behalf of the City of Maplewood, Minnesota, and its citizens that Barbara Kern is extended our gratitude and appreciation for her dedicated services.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
Sorry. I move the resolution of appreciation for HPC Commissioner Barbara Kern.
Second.
Moved by Juniman, seconded by Cave, the motion to adopt the resolution of appreciation for Barbara Kern. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries. Thank you very much.
I just want to say thank you so much for the opportunity to serve. I learned so much from going to that state conference. I can't begin to tell you. It really, really brought to light how long some tasks and some projects can take, and the importance of that collaboration and never giving up. So again, I just thank you so much for the opportunity to serve. Thank you.
Up, down, up, down.
Joe.
One more photo. Come on up.
And then the fun is over.
And the team.
You know your positions.
Oh, I forgot where I was standing. Joe was helping.
They always sit by each other.
We grew up together.
Great.
Congratulations. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Barbara.
Have the orchestra.
Yeah, we know.
Council members, we are moving on to our consent agenda. We have 8 items. Would someone like to make a motion?
Motion to approve the consent agenda item G1 through 8.
Second.
Moved by Lee, seconded by Cave, the motion to approve consent agenda items G1 through 8. Councilmember Juniman?
I have a question.
A question? Which one?
G3.
3? Okay. Mr. Sable, are you going to respond to this?
Yes.
Knowing what went on in the past, we're absolutely positive that all things are the way they should be.
Thank you, Mayor and Councilmember Junior, for the question. I did have a conversation with the community development staff, and despite some of past troubles, we are very optimistic that this is settled, and that we will only review if a problem arises or if a significant change is proposed.
Thank you.
Councilmember Lee.
I just want to take a moment to highlight number 6, purchase of new fire engine. It was an amazing read, and I'd love to hear more about it.
Would one of you, Chief or Assistant Chief, come on up? Ryan?
Madam Mayor, council members, good evening. We're very excited to bring the purchase of a new fire engine to you tonight, requesting for approval to purchase. It's a fantastic piece of equipment that the truck committee members have put an incredible amount of work into researching and making sure that we're getting the best product for the firefighters and the best value for the city. It's a fire engine that will carry 750 gallons of water with a 1,500 gallon per minute pump, and it will, in addition to the great firefighting resources, it will also be an ALS engine, meaning that it will have all the necessary medical equipment to treat patients for the city. So we believe that it's going to be a fantastic piece of equipment for the community members.
Thank you very much, and thank you for asking that to be highlighted. It certainly was a very interesting read. I was mistaken, it was 154 pages, not 156, but you know, whatever you know of the valves and the bleeding lines and all of those kinds of things, it was very interesting. I think I know now more about a fire engine
than you ever wanted
than
to
I
know.
ever wanted to know or thought that I needed to know. But it certainly is a huge investment, $1.2 million, and it is a commitment to our community, and it is absolutely necessary. So thank you for bringing this to us, and thank you for doing all of the planning on it. I could tell that a lot of people looked at this and really thought about meeting the needs of our community with the different types of detailed kinds of things that are included in this. So thank you very much for that. So, council members, we have a motion and a second. We've gone and discussed or answered questions for 3 and highlighted 6. Any other discussion? Then all those in favor of G1 through 8 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Thank you very much. Can I ask one question? When do we expect, I know it's in here, but maybe the public would want to know too, when we can expect to see that new shiny fires engine?
Approximately 18 months.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Tonight, we have a public hearing concerning Gladstone Village. Mr. Love is going to be taking this presentation tonight.
Yes, Mayor and Council, if I could get the presentation. So J.B. Vang, the developer of the Gladstone Village development shown here in this little red box, which is at the southeast corner of Frost and English, they're requesting a vacation of a public easement in order to be able to construct their 65-unit multifamily housing building there. This easement was discovered during the due diligence phase prior to the closing of the property. It's shown here in yellow, and just a little bit of background. Originally, when this area was platted in 1881, there was right-of-way that was dedicated for Ridge Street, and that is essentially where you see the yellow line at. In 1971, it was vacated. And the city retained a public easement for utilities over that. That's pretty common practice. There aren't any public utilities in that easement. One of the things that we do is we notify adjacent property owners about the vacation. In this case, the only adjacent property owner is actually Ramsey County Regional Rail Authority. They own the land for the trail. We did receive a letter from the Ramsey County attorney in favor of this. When we're vacating a road, a simple majority is normally needed. That's if you have a petition signed by the abutting properties. In this case, the developer that would have required basically a board action, and to keep things moving along, they're asking us to proceed without that petition, and that means that the council would have to approve this with a supermajority. So normally 4 out of 5 votes. Tonight it would be 4 out of 4 votes for the vacation. And with that, I'm available for any questions.
Thank you. Mr. Love, are there any questions for Mr. Love? Okay, then at this time, I am going to open up the public hearing. City Clerk Sint, is there anyone signed up for the public hearing?
We have no one signed up.
Okay, then I'll ask just one other time. Is there anyone who would like to speak during the public hearing concerning the resolution for the public vacation of an easement located within the site at 1310 Frost Avenue East? There isn't anyone coming to the microphone, and no one signed up. So therefore, I am going to close the public hearing. And council members, there weren't any questions. Would someone like to make that motion?
I motion to approve a resolution for the public vacation of an easement located within the site at 1310 Frost Avenue East.
Second.
Moved by Cave, seconded by Juniman, the motion to approve a resolution for the public vacation of an easement located within the site at 1310 Frost Avenue East. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries. Thank you. We have no unfinished business tonight. Moving on to new business. Mr. Love, you have the topic, the use of SRF Consulting Group for professional services concerning our street improvements.
Yes, Mayor and Council. So at the May 13th City Council meeting, the council awarded a construction contract for our 2024 street improvement projects. Construction, staking, and inspection are a critical piece of delivering a successful project and making sure the infrastructure is built correctly. For City Maplewood capital improvement projects, we've been utilizing consultants to help us with the construction staking so our staff can concentrate more on the inspection and engagement with the public. Due to staff shortages in the engineering department and also the size and scope, we reached out to our consultants to get quotes for both the surveying and then also for help with inspection. So you might remember that we have two main project areas. The Cypress Maplewood Drive project area is being inspected by staff. We're looking to utilize SRF, who also was our consultant that helped us with this design, to help us with the inspection of the East Shore Drive area. So one thing I should note is this proposal covers the complete inspection of the Cypress area. If we find that our staff have the ability to take over that project as things change, we are able to do that. So this would be the maximum amount if they were to inspect it from now all the way through construction. So the proposal before you tonight is for $446,832.50. And just roughly, it's about 50% for surveying and 50% for that inspection. And with that, I'm available for any questions.
Thank you. Council members, are there any questions? Then I will make a motion. I don't see that in the motion that it includes that amount is for the maximum.
Mayor and Council, no, I was just making that as a note for you that,
Okay.
that this represents the maximum. But working with the consultant, they have confirmed that, yes, they understand that if our staff can take over that, then they would shift their person around as well.
Okay, thank you. Then I'll make the motion to authorize the use of SRF Consulting Group for professional services and further authorize the mayor and city manager to sign the attached work order with SRF Consulting Group for professional services, including construction surveying and construction inspection services.
Second.
Moved by Abrams, seconded by Juniman, the motion to authorize, I don't have to read the whole thing again. Thank you, City Clerk Sint. It gets long. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, then all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Next, we have the discussion on the electric franchise fee ordinance. Mr. Love, this is yours too.
Yes, Mayor and Council. So at our last workshop, we had a discussion about the proposed revisions to the electrical franchise fee ordinance, as well as the rates that staff brought to you to consider. So I'm just going to reiterate for the public here what electric franchise fee is. Essentially, state law allows public utilities that provide energy such as gas and electric to the public to transmit that through the public right-of-way. To help us manage this all with them in our public right-of-way, franchise fee or franchise agreements are utilized. They're very helpful because they set the expectations both for the provider and to the city. These agreements are typically 20 years in length. Ours expires in September of 2024. Franchise fees are an equitable and sustainable way to help fund infrastructure projects. And one of the big things to note about it is that it collects from all properties that utilize the utility. This includes not only residential and commercial type properties, but public agencies and nonprofit properties as well. So for us, what our electrical franchise fee provides is funding for our streetlight utility fund as well as our street revitalization fund. So essentially, the streetlight utility funds helps with paying for the energy of lighting those streetlights out there, as well as routine maintenance and replacement and expansion of not only streetlights but traffic lights as well. The street revitalization fund, the main use of that is for our spot paving program that we run each year. That's more of a maintenance project, but it also helps fund some of our capital improvement projects. And by having this fund, what it allows us to do is lower the amount that we have to bond for the projects, and also this helps then decrease our debt levels. So when we brought this to you at the workshop, we noted that we had compared 13 cities of close population size. As you can see here, the 5 items in yellow were below the median rate in this comparison. And the current franchise brings in about roughly about $1 million a year in funding. And at our workshop, the council also requested us to look at raising the other rates, such as the public street lighting, municipal pumping, and municipal pumping demand, up to that median range. So the rates before you tonight, we're looking at increasing residential from $3 to $4.25. This is a $1.25 a month increase. And then we brought up those other 4 areas up to the median rate. This essentially will bring in about $1,273,000 of revenue, so that's an increase about $248,000. Whoops. And with that, just wanted to kind of discuss the different motions that are before you. So there's 2 ordinances before you tonight. One is the franchise fee ordinance. This is essentially that agreement, that franchise agreement. The next one is the electrical franchise fee ordinance, and this is what's the ordinance that sets those rates for the next 20 years. There's also 2 resolutions authorizing publication in summary for both the ordinance as well as the fee ordinance, and those 2 require a supermajority. So again, tonight that would be 4 out of 4 votes. And with that, I'm available for any questions.
Any questions for Mr. Love concerning the franchise fee ordinance? Thank you for bringing this to us. It's nice that we had a previous discussion about it and are now able to be informed about it. If there are no questions, and council members, we have a series of motions. Would someone like to
I motion to approve the revised electric franchise ordinance.
Second.
Moved by Cave, seconded by Juniman, the motion to approve the revised electric franchise ordinance. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. The next one.
I move to approve the revised electric franchise fee ordinance.
Second.
Moved by Juniman, seconded by Lee, the motion to approve the revised electric franchise fee ordinance. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries.
Motion to approve the resolution authorizing publication of the electric franchise ordinance by title and summary.
Second.
Moved by Lee, seconded by Cave, the motion to approve the resolution authorizing publication of the electric franchise ordinance by title and summary. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries by a supermajority. And the next motion?
Motion to approve the resolution authorizing publication of the electric franchise fee ordinance by title and summary.
Second.
Moved by Kate, seconded by Lee, the motion to approve the resolution authorizing publication of the electric franchise fee ordinance by title and summary. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Oh, sorry. Aye. There's 4 votes in favor. I was listening for it, I'm sorry. That motion carries by a supermajority. Thank you very much. Mr. Sable.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to thank Steve and Joe Rube and Mike Darrow for their hard work in kind of pulling this together. I think they did a really good job of framing the issues. I thought the work session that we had was really helpful. And then a big thank you, even though Ron Beatty is not here and Dave Anderson is in his presence. The work of Kennedy and Graven really made this process a lot easier for us. So really great work all around. Thanks.
Thank you. Councilmember Cave.
I just want to concur that I think those work sessions are fantastic, that we can hash out so much and then just come to the council and it's done. So I appreciate that too.
And then we're making educated decisions. Okay, then next we have the authorization to advertise for bids. Mr. Love, once again, I'll turn to you.
Yes, Mayor and Council. So we're back to EAB. Back in April 22nd of this year, the City Council approved the grant from the DNR for $450,000. So this is the public tree removal that we're going to be doing. The grant covers not only the tree removal, the restoration of the boulevard, and the replanting of a tree. The city's portion of cost relates to the fact that the grant required a 3-year maintenance program to make sure these trees really get off to a good start, and that's $50,000, and that is going to be funded from our forestry fund. With that, the staff is ready to publicize that grant for bidding, and with that, I'm available for any questions.
Any questions for Mr. Love? No questions, and I'm sorry, Councilmember Lee.
Just a comment, Mayor. It's impressive to see how many trees we have taken, your team has taken down in the city of Maplewood, and how much this grant will be covering, which is about 200 ash trees in the city of Maplewood. So that's going to be an additional great progress that we're making on this whole EAB. So.
Council members, there's a motion before us. Would someone like to make it?
I move to approve the attached resolution authorizing the advertisement for bids for the 2024 EAB Mitigation Project, City Project 23-17.
Second.
Moved by Juniman, seconded by Lee, the motion to approve the attached resolution authorizing the advertisement for bids for the 2024 EAB Mitigation Project, City Project 23-17. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries as well. We have no award of bids, and with that, council members, thank you very much for all of your hard work. We are adjourned.